Good morning, folks. How are you? Hope you're all okay today. Right, this is just well, we'll see how long it takes. I've not done one of these in depth on a certain item of a vehicle thing for well a while. So it's probably the last sort of videos I did months ago when I first started the channel. For you guys that have built the kit I'm going to go on about, you'll probably find this extremely boring. Most of you will probably find this extremely boring, but I've been requested by Sgt Bones, the good old Sarge, ex-US Army vehicle driver and that, so he knows his stuff. He is a good friend of mine on YouTube. He helps me out a lot with the American vehicles and stuff like that, of what should be and what shouldn't be and what things are called, etc, etc, if I'm not too sure myself. And he has helped. He did request if I could, when I build the kit I'm about to show you, if I could do an in-depth thing on their tracks. So this is the kit I am doing at the minute for my Gulf Wars build. It's the Meng 1/35th scale Bradley M3A3 with Busk 3. This is actually the basic kit, but I have bought the interior for it separate. So I think actually the Meng's kit that comes with everything in the box, is actually the M2A3, is it, or the M3A2? I think it's the M2A3. So you can do two different versions. On this one, it's just basically the M3A3. Now, for you guys that have done this kit and that, like I say, will probably find this extremely boring. I will admit, when I see videos that guys post of tank tracks, I do appreciate why they're done and why they're built and that, and why they're filmed, because obviously they are interesting. And don't get me wrong, in the future I may well result back to one of these for research purposes or whatever else. So, but at this minute in time and recently, they just don't, I just don't tend to watch them or float my boat or whatever. But obviously there is a need for these, as I say. Anyway, Sarge asked me if when I come round to building the Bradley in this kit, will I just do an in-depth thing of how I found the tracks and what they're like. So I've done quite a bit of in-depth research on the M3A3's tracks in real life. Sarge, I apologise, I was watching Private Ryan yesterday afternoon. I had a bit of time to myself, so I thought I'll tell you what I'll do while I'm watching it, because I know the film inside and out. I shall go and get the tracks for this kit and clean them up and get them ready for assembly. Totally forgetting about what you'd asked for for me to do, so I apologise. The tracks that you're going to see now are all done and cleaned up, but I have saved most of the bits that I've cut off, so I can show you how they come in the box, shall we say. So in the instruction manual, I've changed the camera view back to a bit of a closer one. In the instruction manual, you don't come up to doing the tracks until stage 18, and it asks for you to do 80 links each side. Now they are, basically it says you don't need glue whatsoever. Now I was a bit dubious about that at first, but while I've been test fitting and dry fitting, or whatever you want to call it, it does seem that it is right and they're pretty solid. You don't actually need to have any glue for them. So we'll see how they go around the actual vehicle, though, because I've constructed the wheels, as you can probably see here in the background. Very nice they are too. The thing I am impressed with these wheels as well is that the tyres actually come separate. So if you wanted to, for painting purposes, you could just obviously do that, your wheel, and then perhaps stick them down on a bit of double-sided sticky tape and just spray them, because they've got a bit of a kink inside, but that bit inside, so obviously as you're spraying you'll probably miss the bit inside, you can't see anyway because it clips around the wheel. Lovely fitting, no issues whatsoever. And also, if I could just show you, the nice touch with the Meng kit, they actually supply you with the photo etch masking for the wheels. I'll tell you what, let's get it out so we can show you beware, as Paul would say. In fact, let's just take it off the sprue completely. Now, I have actually had a look at other vehicles, and this wheel mask does fit a lot of other kits that have got virtually the same sort of size wheel, so you know, it's definitely worth saving afterwards. So as you can see, you just click it round the wheel and hold it. Obviously it's a bit of a tedious job for sort of holding and spraying with your gun or whatever you're going to do, but again, I mean, I think what I'm going to do is just do this old, you know, just leave the tyres off, stick them down to a bit of double-sided sticky tape, spray them, and then obviously do the wheel separate. I think that's the way I'm going to do that. As you can see, look, there's no glue, and they just click on great, no problem at all. So technically you might not even need any glue. Now, coming for the tracks as well, there's actually, for the tracks, the masking sort of thing for the tracks, so you know, you can paint the rubber pads on them, so that's a good little touch of the Meng. Right, so yeah, so section 18, you don't come up to do the tracks until then. So the tracks come basically, Sarge, the tracks come attached, I think, like that. So you get two attached together like that, and then in the middle of them is one of these annoying little plastic nibs. You can see that. So that goes in the middle. And it's quite hard to cut off because they're sort of stuck like that. So if you think about it, how are you going to get your sprue cutters, especially your thick ones, into there if you haven't got any others? So you're probably going to have to use your your X-Acto blade or your Stanley blade, whatever you want to call it, to cut that off. And then you also get a knob on the end, a little nib on the end of each track, and I think you do anyway, can't remember, or is it on the end of like that? Anyway, I think it's at the end, like one there as well. Yeah, there is, yeah, that's right. So there you go. So you basically get 3 nibs, I think, on each track link that you pull out of your bag. They come in your plastic bag like that. All the tracks do. So you know, and they're also, when you cut them off, extremely nimble. The horns at the sides, not the guide horns in the middle, but the horns at the side there are extremely thin, so you have to be very careful when cutting them off. These 3 here that I've got outside of the box are actually the ones I've damaged, but I'm saving them just in case. Obviously I'm a bit short. See, that one's broken completely, and that one has as well. So they need, you know, you just need to be very careful. They're all cleaned up and in a box ready to go. Now, these are the sprue cutters I use. These are Xuron ones, and they have got pointy teeth, but they are quite difficult to get in between there. So I go to my old trusty Tamiya, really thin sprue cutters at the end, and they've done it a treat, really nice. Now, sanding sticks, I usually use the Ultimate ones. Now, obviously they're okay for certain bits and whatever else, even the thinny sticks are okay for them bits there, but I luckily a year or so ago purchased quite a few of these really thin ones, and also these. Now these perfectly fit right bang in between where that annoying nib was, so that's perfect, and you can sand away to your heart's content, and it's great, and it just gets rid straight away. And also I basically just use one of these for the cleaning purpose, straight away like that, one way and then the other, and then boom, that's done. Altogether it took me, I'd say, about an hour and 15 minutes to cut them all and clean them up. And in between that I made myself a good old trusty brew, of course, as you've got to do. So, you know, it is a bit difficult and a bit tedious a job, but they do as well, watch, fit together perfect. Now I've done a bit of research on the actual real life tracks. I've tried to find a name for them, and the name, there isn't a proper name for them, I don't think, that I can find. They're basically a steel single pin detachable rubber with detachable rubber pads. That's all I can find description wise of them. So there you go. I'm just going to construct these, just a few of them now, so I can just show you it is fairly easy. Now I've got big stumpy 6'2" bloody hands which do your head in, so if I can do this, then the smaller guys of you and not so clumsier guys could probably do it a lot easier. Now bear in mind, some you have to be a little bit careful. See, that one hasn't been cleaned completely well, so I can just show you now on camera, straight in between, quick little sand, a bit further than I had done. Just give the trusty old brush a bit of a brush over. Where's the rest of them? So yeah, there you go, it's gone in no problem at all. Now I know John Moore did this exact same kit, but he did the one, well, this kit exactly, but without he didn't add the interior to it. Now he did say that, I think, if I recall, John, I apologise if not, but he did recall you saying that he did find these a bit fiddly, and also they wouldn't stay together for you, I think, or something like that, or they kept breaking for you or something. So I mean, like I say, I haven't constructed as many as, I mean, John's done his kit now, and what a fine job he's done too. I mean, if you look up John's channel, John Moore's models, he's actually got the finished version as his profile picture. I think his channel's profile picture. Right, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 done there. Drop them on the thing from a distance, whack them about, hit them off something, off your hand, and look at that, still intact, very bendy. Let's just give them a test. What can we use? Use the thing, as you can see, look at that, perfect. And this kit does actually have movable suspension as well, so yeah, Meng as usual have stuck up to their name and done a fabulous job. I'm also looking carefully, and there is no ejector pin marks anywhere on them. Now there is a little mark after the guide horn, or the steel pins, whatever they want to call them, but if you have a look on some research pictures, they do actually, this is the one I'm using at the minute, well, I've got 4 or 5 boots actually, but this is the only one I've got. It's the M3 Bradley, but the best picture I've found in this of the tracks is here, and it's a good picture where it shows you the thing, you know, the pins and that, the guide horns, and to be fair, they are extremely accurate, really are accurate. They look exactly like they do in real life, so to be fair, I don't know if you'll see that very well. Brilliant job for Meng. But yeah, the tracks are exactly the same size as the M2, 96 inches altogether, I think, or something. So The width of them is 21 inches or 53 centimetres in real life. This is all real life, by the way, the research I've done. The pitch of them is 6 inches or 15 centimetres. The shoes or the tracks are basically on the left side of the vehicle are 84 of them, and then on the right side of them, for some reason, there's 82. And then the ground contact length is basically 154 inches, which is the equivalent to 391 centimetres. So that's a bit of boring facts for you. So Sarge, very nice, lovely tracks. I'm not on stage 18 yet, but I've done it all and cleaned them up ready, so they're all, you know, ready to go. I've shown you basically everything that comes forth in the tracks and what you know, what comes with them and everything. So yeah, they are very nice. I mean, Ryfield's Abrams, one with the full interior, I'm doing, which is the cell build, which I've stopped doing for the moment. Their tracks are very tedious. There's a rubber pad underneath and a rubber pad on top, and you have to connect, you know, so there's about 4 parts to one single pad for one single track link. So, you know, compared to that, they are brilliant. They really are. They've got a big thumbs up from me, as Neil would say. So yeah, I recommend it. But yeah, Sarge, I hope you found that fairly useful. The plastic of them is quite nice, you know, quite a solid plastic, and they're extremely realistic. So yeah, very good. Yeah, Sarge, and for the rest of you guys, I apologise if it's a bit boring for you and whatever else, but you know, I'll do anything that any of me subscribers ask. If they, you know, if they want a kit reviewing and I've got it, or you know, anything, an in-depth look at a part of the kit like on this or anything else, just give us a shout, guys, and I'll do it. Not a problem, with the best of my abilities anyway, because obviously I'm only doing it off my tablet. But yeah, guys, I hope you've found this okay, even not just Sarge, but you know, anybody else that's found it useful. There you go. They are Meng's M3A3 Bradley's 1/35 scale track links. So hope you're all well, guys. Hope you'll stay safe, and may the force be with you.